things are going well. Hello. I think I'm just about ready to get going here. Alright. Sorry I've been gone for a bit. Haven't really been in the right headspace. I think some of it is just I've hit a point in the project where there's a lot to do and I'm having trouble deciding what to work on. So yeah, I'm gonna download Godot 4.5 and I'm gonna upgrade my project and we'll see how that goes. There's some features in 4.5 that I'm really interested in. Let's see, where's the... Just download that. So yeah, there's some cool features in 4.5 that I would like to play around with. Stencil buffer is very cool. Yo, Aristo, how's it going? Yeah, some of the things that I'm really looking forward to are like really nerdy things. Like, let's see. Did I scroll past it? I might have. This is nice. You had to install RC Edit if you wanted to like change the icon of your build on Windows, which is so weird. Oh yeah, this is the what do you mean? Nice. So where was it? There was... Yeah, the shader baker is pretty big. It's not that big of a deal on my project because I'm doing some stylized stuff. Nice. But yeah, the stuff about the abstract classes and methods and stuff, that is very important to what I want to be able to do. I was running into situations already in my project where I wish I had access to abstract classes and methods and stuff, and interfaces. Yeah. I think the interfaces might have been in 4.4. I'm still on like I'm several builds behind on my... I'm on 4.3. But it's all backed up on my GitHub, so I should be okay to upgrade the project without breaking anything. But I'm probably gonna make a copy of it just in case. Let's see. Alright. Yeah. Usually a good idea. Yeah. Having backups. Let's see. Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted. I don't like how Microsoft has been like cramming all the AI stuff into GitHub. So I might move some of my other projects to like a self-hosted VCS somewhere, but I'm not sure. GitHub's just too simple, you know? Alright. Yep. And just move this folder. Yeah. Alright, cool. Go ahead and unpin that. Anyway. Cool. Back up the project first. Yeah, so since the current project's on 4.3, I know there's gonna be a lot of stuff that like takes a while because 4.4 is when they added like the meta file thing, I think. So I'm gonna have like meta files next to the existing files. Alright. Does look like it copied it just fine. Alright. Re-importing all the things. Okay. Got some errors. Failed loading resource. Yeah, it's not too bad. Just 4, and they have to do with files. Okay, well, that one's a prefab. Oh, I think it's just because I'm preloading in the script for this prefab. I'm preloading another scene. I think it doesn't like that. Let's see. Bomb. Yeah, see, it's have this bomb blast scene. And it didn't preload properly. Let's see if it runs. Let's go to our outdoor scene and let's run it and see what happens. I'm imagining some stuff might be a little messed up. Okay. Character controller works. We can lock on. We can defeat our enemy. We collect money. can get. Okay, we got this monkey. And now we can go in here. Change our scene. I think this has the bombs in it. Yep. Cool. Oh, okay. My text box is. It's fine. Okay. Okay, it seems like everything's working for the most part. Alright, yeah, we die when we go in the water. Or not die, but we reset. Still climb ladders, cool. Can still push blocks, yeah. Alright. Yeah, I think that's like all the mechanics are working. Let me double check and make sure it loads the save file. Looks like it did not. No, I might not. I might have it so it's not set up to. Let's see. If we go to our game state manager. Yeah. It's set to not load this on init. So if I set this to true and we run it, yeah, it did. Save. Very cool. So I was worried that was going to be a lot more of a pain. So it was literally just, and it might have just been a syntax error or something in that bomb script with how I was preloading the explosion particle scene. It seems fine here. Redundant await, that's fine. Cool. So we are now upgraded to 4.5. I want to see, just double checking on 4.4. So yeah, here's the one where I have two dictionaries that I'm using in my game state manager. Dang. I guess that's one place where having somebody else host it is ideal for me. But yeah, it's on these UID files that they're like the meta files. Unity had like true meta files where it stored a lot of information about the individual files, but this one in Godot, it just has, like, it literally just has an ID. It's just like a randomly generated ID for every file. Yeah, that's great that was. I'm gonna like save, and I'm gonna close it and reopen it just to make sure that it still works. Because that's a big important thing. If I make changes and then I close it and reopen it and it breaks everything when you reopen it, that's a no-go. Cool. Yeah, that was great. So yeah, type dictionaries are 4.4. Yeah, the UID files fixes breaking references, which I think that might have been actually why the that error might have been related to the fact that it was generating the UIDs, so it errored while, yeah, let's see. Okay. And the new game window is gonna be a cool thing as well. Being able to like, go in here and I need to figure out how this works actually. There we go. Interesting. That is cool. And if I switch to the remote, I'm guessing if I select something, it selects. Yeah, that's very cool. That's a feature that Unity has had forever, and it's cool that we have it in Godot now. What's this? That's the aspect ratio. Except for the camera. Okay, I see. So one thing that it's different from the way that Unity does it is when you are doing this, it's like in the scene view, not in the game view. But again, that's not that big of a deal. It's not something I'm gonna use a ton, probably. So, one big thing that I was gonna do today, aside from just upgrading Godot versions, was some project management stuff, which isn't the most exciting thing ever, but I've been struggling with figuring out what I should be working on next. So I have got a pretty big backlog of things, so I kind of just need to like take stock of I need to restart. Hi Rozzy, how's it going? We're gonna do some project management. But I have to restart Windows Explorer because I'm doing pretty good. Did the floof work? Yes, the floof worked. So yeah, I'm just kind of struggling right now to try to figure out like what are the most important things to work on next, what will make the game better. So I think what I want to do is so I'm currently working in Sprint 4. I think what I want to do is move from whatever I was doing for sprints before to making them last a month, because I'm only working on it a couple days a week. It's not a full-time thing, so trying to do like 2-week sprints, it's just not enough work getting done in that time. And so yeah, I want to move to doing like breaking my work down into 1 month chunks, and then kind of like assessing where I'm at the end of that month, to see what's working and what's not working, how I can improve my process. Because I'm getting to the point where it's almost been a year of me working on this game. And I'm kind of feeling like I don't have a lot to show for it, which I know it's not like that big of a deal. This isn't a full-time thing, just a project that I'm working on mainly to learn. Yeah, I'm hard on myself, and I think some of it is also I'm recovering from pretty severe burnout that has lasted multiple years, so like it's obviously gonna take me a while to get back to my the level of production that I had when I was at my most productive, and I'm trying to be kind to myself, but at the same time, like, I know what I'm capable of, and I get frustrated with myself because I'm not hitting some imaginary ideal that I used to be able to do. A lot of like undoing a lot of toxic self-thought and stuff like that. And I have been I have been doing great lately. I'm just trying to like find the right balance, because I took a few weeks off, which ended up being like almost a month off, and then I took another week off just last week. And some of it too is my partner. She's a teacher, and she just went back to teaching at the beginning of August for the school year, and so I'm like adjusting to her new schedule, and yeah, just a adjustment period right now. But I have learned a ton on this project, don't get me wrong. Like, doing cool stuff, making cool things. I'm just not quite as far along as I thought I would be, and that's okay. But I want to figure out how to get as far as I want to get. And that requires a lot of introspection. And a lot of that is uncomfortable. Because I think one thing that I like I've been wrestling with lately is like streaming the entire process of making this game is like very vulnerable. And like, I know you all are super nice and you think what I'm doing is cool, and that's great. But then there are times where I feel like I should know what I should be doing, and I just don't. And I get frustrated with myself. And that's where Hack and Plan, I need to get more in the habit of checking in it more regularly and making sure it's up to date. Because this is kind of my to-do list, and it's my wiki for like what is going into the game. So I think I just need to go through and like clean some of it up. So one thing I know for sure that I need to add is a projectile system. So I can have enemies that can shoot projectiles, and the player can shoot arrows and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a note of that. I didn't already have a... Yay. Love it when things sync properly. Oh no. Yeah, those video files can eat up a lot of space. That's one great thing about game dev stuff. It's like you're mostly dealing with text files, which are tiny. So a system like Git is great for that sort of thing because it can keep track of every change you've made. I am gonna go ahead and push the Godot 4.5 update to my Git. Yeah. Yeah, that is one place where Git is not great. I've played around a little bit with Git LFS. It's just way too complicated. Rista, have you used like Perforce or anything like that in the past? You familiar with that? Those are really good for dealing with large binary files. I used Perforce on exactly one project. That's fair. Yeah, I've also used Plastic SCM, which is now owned by Unity. I used it before Unity bought it. It's so silly that they're like a product by Unity. It was a product that existed a long time ago. Yeah. But Plastic worked great for collaborative project management, asset management, I should say. And it has like a pretty handy GUI. I'm gonna just do I'm just gonna play around and maybe take some notes on things that I like how they're working, things that are not working how I want them to. Okay, so a big one right now is there's no way to restart the game when you die. Yeah. Hi Baka, how's it going? Welcome. I've upgraded my project to Godot 4.5 and I had 0 issues with it. It was amazing. Nothing broke. Everything is equally broken to how it was before I upgraded. Yeah, there's some cool things I want to play around with. I definitely want to play around with the stencil buffer. It seems kind of complex, but it seems very cool. Okay. There's another bug, so I'm gonna... Let's see, where's my hacking plan? Where did it go? There it is. Nope. Can I close it? Yeah, I must have closed it. Okay. I did make a copy. Yeah, Godot is nice if you let's see. So if you have a project that exists and you're opening it with a new version, it will ask, do you want to make a copy? And so it backed up my old one and made the new one. All right, let me make us some notes. All right, I do want to make sure that I'm not making duplicates. Yeah, very cool. All right. Okay, so we do have this one, animation states desync with player states. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna make this high priority. Okay. And I'm gonna add some subtasks to it. Game over text, background, and a way to restart the game. So we can just do save and quit. I guess wait, without saving. Maybe. Okay, so this is like a high priority bug. It happens a lot, including when the player dies. What else is not working correctly? I know we found a bug earlier where you can save. Yeah. You can save after you die, and then if you reload that save, it gets you in like a busted state. So I think one thing I'm considering doing this is kind of going to be like a bigger game design change. So right now I have the A button on the Xbox controller as roll. B doesn't really do anything. And I have auto jump. And I think the auto jump is causing some problems, so I'm thinking about maybe making it so the A button is it's the interact button but also the jump button. So like if you have an interactable within range, it's interact, but if you don't, then it's jump. And I'm thinking about making B sprint. And so what I might do is make it so if you tap B, you roll, but if you hold it, you run. Kind of like in Elden Ring or Souls games. I'm not 100% decided on that yet. but I think it might make the movement more fun. And I can also like add some additional movement tech, like let's see, like maybe wall running or mantling over obstacles. Like say if I was sprinting and I ran up to this, like automatically jumping over it instead of stopping to climb over it. Some more like parkour type moves. Okay. Let's see. We don't want let's add new task. This is a bug. Don't roll while opening doors. What was the other one? This is more just a programming thing. Door player position rotation when entering / exiting scenes. Because right now it doesn't entirely make sense that we just kind of spawn here. And I actually part of the issue with this is the player exists in the scene already. So I might need to make a system that that loads the player in instead of placing the player in every scene. What did I do? I got an error. So this is trying to change from... What state is this? Run. It's trying to change from run to jump. And this is happening in update physics. I think this is actually a pretty easy fix. Because I can just say if state machine dot it's not null. So I'm not entirely sure exactly what I did there. I think I might have like been like rolling and jumping and oh, I'm not hitting that error anymore, so that's good. Yeah, I need to adjust the timing on the opening chests so you don't get the collection sound effect until after the chest is open. And also I shouldn't be able to move while I'm opening a chest. And I shouldn't be able to roll while I'm holding a pot. Why did that work? It didn't work there. Just gonna make a note of that. Make sure you roll while holding a pot. Make sure you cannot move while opening chest. And then this is kind of more of a programming thing, but we need to make some improvements to the text box system. Because right now, if I want to have a text box show up, the object that displays the text box has to have the text box as a child of it. So like, let's see, where is it? So it's possible to have multiple overlapping text boxes, and that shouldn't be the case. It really should be that I should have a global system for requesting a text box and then hiding it, or waiting for input to move it to the next thing. It's kind of bugging me. And I need to look into some stuff with the animation tree, because I know some of my animation state errors are because of the animation tree. Because it's a mess and I have some weird transitionings happening. And they don't always transition the way that they should. And I think some of these need to be made into like sub-states. I just need to like plan out how I want to do some of this. I do also want to have a, let's see. I want to have like a sword bonk state, or if you swing your sword and it hits something that doesn't take damage, so the player will like bounce off of it. Alright, I'm about to have ads. This is just gonna be an experiment with moving jump. I'm gonna make some subtasks, so we'll say a button jump. Auto jump. Make sure interactables take priority over jumps. Alright. I'm giving myself a deadline for this sprint, for sprint 4, at the end of this month. And I added sprint 5, which will be basically all of October. And I feel like this will help me plan things out a little bit better. Man, I am like really tired for some reason. I think I'll go for a little bit longer, but I think I'm gonna wrap up in a little bit. Sorry for the short stream. Yeah, I'm hoping it does too. Yeah, I need to learn more about the how animation trees work, I think. To figure out why sometimes my transitions just aren't working. Let's teleport to the self state. And the reset option is in the old image. If false, nothing happens. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I think one thing that I'm learning just as this project goes is I need to experiment with my process to figure out how best to manage myself, my time. Learning about how I work and what works best for me and what doesn't work. And I think I've done most of this project so far without any deadlines, and part of that was great because it let me experiment and try a lot of things. But now I'm hitting this point where I have a lot of things that I want to do on this project, and if I don't give myself a deadline, I will take forever to do it. I think it's one of those things where, I don't know if you've heard this statement before, but like a task will expand to fill the time that you give it. So like if you say like, I have a month to do this one thing, it's gonna take you a month to do it. But if you say you only have a week to do it, you're gonna do it in a week or it's not gonna get done. And so it's kind of, it's especially true for me. Like if I have all the time in the world, I'm gonna take all the time in the world. But if I have a deadline, there's a chance that I might focus and get it done. So today I started reading Adam Savage from Mythbusters has a book that he wrote. It's called Every Tool's a Hammer. And it's really good. I really like Adam Savage. I look up to him as like a creative. It's his book, Every Tool's a Hammer, Life is What You Make It, and I read he has a whole chapter on making lists and a whole chapter after that about checkboxes for your lists. So it kind of inspired me to think more about my process and how best I can work. He swears by lists and checklists. They don't always work for me. I think it's becoming just very apparent to me, like, a tool is only as good as it is when you use it. Like, if you have a tool and you're not using it, it's kind of useless. And so, you know, I have got my hacking plan that I'm trying to use to keep all my things organized, but if I'm not checking it, and if I'm not updating it and making sure it's organized, then it's not really helpful. But I'm a big fan of the Kanban board style workflow of you have a card and you basically make it like as small of a unit of work as possible, and then you only put as much work as you think you can do in the planned stage for that sprint or chunk of time or whatever, and try to keep the stuff that you have in progress as low a number as possible. Like, don't be working on a bunch of things at once. And test stuff before you say it's done. I've worked on projects with other people in the past where, like, they'll make a bunch of changes and then they'll say it's done, and then they check their work in, and like, I try it out and it doesn't work because they didn't actually test it. Now, I've used Asana before. Yeah, subtasks are good. So one cool thing in Hack and Plan, I haven't used it a whole lot yet, but you can have subtasks, but you can promote a subtask to be its own task. So like, if the things in your checklists are getting too big, you can be like, okay, this is now its own thing. And it might have subtasks. Yeah, Hack and Play is cool because it's designed specifically for game development. So it has a lot of the features that you would want. Like, this design model is pretty useful. I am not using it as much as I should be, but it's basically like a wiki. But then you can also like assign tasks to elements in the wiki. So it's just like a way of connecting things together. And then it'll have this, this progress bar of like, okay, you have this many things that are connected. How many of them are actually marked as completed? Which I think is pretty neat. Yeah, I've kind of hit a point where I'm running out of steam. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. But thank you all for hanging out with me while I try to figure out what I'm doing. If any of y'all have any recommendations for who we should raid, could raid Reb. They just got their new VTuber model up, or we could raid Aphrodite. Any preferences? Alright, we'll raid Aphrodite. Alright, have a good rest of your week. I should be back on Thursday, that's the plan. I'm gonna try to stick with my schedule of Tuesday, Thursday streams. Yeah, thanks for hanging. Hopefully you learned something. Or at least just had fun hanging. Alright, see ya, bye.